Beneath the quiet sky where stars are strewn like sprinkled glitter, your thoughts begin a gentle journey. You find yourself at the edge of a vast horizon, a line that never quite meets, always just beyond reach, like a soft secret waiting to be discovered. Here, the idea of infinity hums softly, a melody that stretches beyond what the eye can see or the mind can fully hold. As you settle into the calm embrace of your space, imagine the universe as a giant ocean without banks or shores. Your body feels the steady pulse of this endless sea, and your mind floats with it. Infinity is not a faraway land or an unreachable mountain peak. It is the horizon itself, always distant, always inviting. Think of walking across a room. At first, your steps are easy, steady, but pause and imagine what happens if, to reach the other side, you must first travel half the distance, then half the distance still left, then half again, and again, endlessly. Each step becomes smaller and smaller, forever having, yet your goal is as close as ever. This is one of the oldest puzzles about infinity, a paradox from an ancient thinker named Zeno. He teaches us that the path to anything might hold infinite moments, like ripples on a pond that never quite cease trailing outwards. Though never trapped, you learn to move gently through these infinite steps, understanding that sometimes the journey is less about arriving and more about the unfolding itself. Infinity whispers through the stars too. Consider the night sky above you, a deep velvet curtain with pinpricks of light scattered like grains of sand. Do the stars stretch on without end? The universe might be like a boundless beach that keeps unfurling beyond what your eyes perceive, or it might wrap around itself like the smooth surface of a giant pearl. Looping quietly without edges, your mind reaches out to touch this mystery, calm and soft, a place where the vastness invites you, not to fear, but to dream. Infinity is like that friend who never tires of listening, always there, a quiet companion in the night. Numbers dance with infinity too. Begin counting aloud. 1, 2, 3. You soon realize that no matter how high you count, there is always one more waiting, patient and endless. Numbers are stepping stones laid endlessly across a river with no far shore, and with each count, you drift further into the gentle current of forever. This idea is not a puzzle to confuse, but a pathway to wonder. Infinity lives here, in the journey of stepping quietly across a room, in the sparkling sea of stars above, and in the numbers that rise endlessly without a final peak. It is a horizon you approach but never cross, a song that unfolds softly without an ending, as your breathing slows and your thoughts float. Remember, infinity is not the end, but the road itself, stretching graceful and long. When sleep carries you gently onward, it will be like stepping into that endless horizon, calm, steady, and full of quiet wonder. So as your eyes close, take this thought with you. The universe is bigger than any boundary you can see. Infinity is the song beneath your breath, the endless path beneath your feet, and the soft horizon that holds you tenderly, just out of reach, forever inviting you to dream. In the quiet stillness where your mind begins to wander, imagine numbers not as cold symbols in a book, but as dancers moving in an endless ballroom. With every step, they glide gracefully forward, never tiring, never stopping. You are invited to join this dance, to feel the rhythm of counting without end, and to discover the shy secrets infinity reveals in the smallest of movements. Close your eyes gently and picture a path made of stones, stretching endlessly before you. Each stone is a number, 1, 2, 3, and so on. No matter how far you walk along this path, there is always another stone waiting for you, just ahead, shiny and new. This is the heartbeat of infinity, an unbroken line extending beyond your sight, welcoming your steps one after another. Now, imagine there are many paths woven together. One path holds all the whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Another path holds only even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8. At first, you might think the path of all whole numbers is longer, bigger than the path of even numbers, since the evens are only a portion of the whole. But in the dance of infinity, things move differently. For every whole number on the first path, there's a matching even number on the second one. Pairs with 2, 2 pairs with 4, 3 pairs with 6, and so the two paths step together perfectly, without end. They are the same size after all. This surprising discovery comes from a German mathematician named Georg Cantor, whose gentle curiosity welcomed infinity without fear. He showed that infinity is not a single endless ocean, but a vast landscape of many infinities, some bigger, some smaller, each with its own rhythm and shape. It is like a ladder reaching up into the sky, with each rung taller than the last. Cantor's ideas tease your imagination further. Consider fractions numbers like 1/2, 2/3, or 27/99. Between 1 and 2, infinite fractions can fit like stars in the night. You might think this makes the world of fractions much larger than the counting numbers. Yet, Cantor showed a clever way to list these fractions one by one, just like whole numbers. Even with infinite fractions swirling between numbers, they can be put in a sequence, a dance line you can follow. But here comes a new guest to the dance, the real numbers. These include not just fractions, but also those wild decimals that never end and never repeat, like the square root of 2 or the mysterious pi. Cantor revealed these numbers form an infinity too large to be listed or matched, a vast ocean that spills beyond the reach of any countable list. Imagine trying to catch shadows on a sunlit wall. No matter how far you reach, some always slip beyond your grasp. This infinity is called the continuum, a flowing river that cannot be mapped stone by stone. You float gently on its currents, feeling its endless depths. Cantor's work was not just math, but a dream touching the edge of the infinite itself. It whispers that infinity contains secrets layered like the petals of a blooming flower, each fold opening to reveal even stranger and more beautiful patterns that stretch beyond seeing. To better glow with these ideas, picture Hilbert's Hotel, a place so vast it has infinitely many rooms, numbered just like stones on your path. Even when the hotel is completely full, infinite new guests can still find a room. How is this possible? Because infinity allows a dance of endless rearrangements. Guest moves one room forward, opening space for another. If a whole bus of infinite travelers arrives, the hotel manager moves every guest to double their room number, opening all the odd rooms for newcomers. The hotel never truly fills, always welcoming, always expanding. This paradox invites your mind to stretch with gentle wonder. Things can be full, yet have room for more. Infinity bends the rules of everyday counting, inviting you to dance with the impossible. It teaches that endings may dissolve and beginnings may loop forever, like soft waves folding endlessly upon a shore. Counting, adding, pairing, these simple acts hide infinity's gentle pulse. The tiniest step in a sum or sequence carries the shadow of never ending. Even when numbers add up to a neat finite value, the process itself reaches endlessly, like a candle flame flickering into the night. As you feel your breath slow and your thoughts drift, remember this dance of numbers is a quiet companion. Infinity hides in each one more, each step taken softly forward, inviting calm curiosity. It is a dance you join not to conquer, but to accompany a lullaby of endless possibility carried on the breeze. Before sleep carries you wholly into its embrace, let this reflection linger. Infinity is not a distant mystery locked beyond your grasp, but a rhythm beating quietly beneath the simplest act of counting. It is both the horizon you approach and the path you walk. And so, as your eyelids grow heavy and your mind floats gently between wakefulness and dreams, carry with you the soft hum of numbers, endless and intimate, a lullaby of infinity's tender dance. Time flows like a gentle river, carrying moments both tender and vast, a silent current bridging now and forever, a mystery that cradles both future and past. Imagine yourself now, lying calmly beneath a starry sky, as time flows around you like a soft river, endless, smooth, and steady. Your body breathes with the rhythm of its current, carrying every thought, memory, and dream downstream. Time is the quiet keeper of your moments, flowing forward without pause, shaping the story of your existence without ever revealing its origin or destination. Time is one of the deepest mysteries, whispering through the idea of infinity. It carries each life, each breath, without a clear beginning or end, inviting you to drift gently within its embrace. You may wonder, does time stretch endlessly backward, beyond what memory or science can grasp? Or did it begin somewhere, perhaps in a singular moment when everything ignited? Will the current of time flow on forever into the vast beyond? Or is there a final turn where the river fades away into stillness? Long ago, many cultures imagined time not as a straight path, but as a flowing circle. The Babylonians watched seasons, returning endlessly. The Egyptians found comfort in eternal cycles. and Indian thinkers pictured ages upon ages, kalpas lasting so long they seemed impossible to count. To them, time was a great wheel turning forever, a rhythmic dance of creation and dissolution playing across ages beyond human life. The Greeks spoke of eternal recurrence, where the universe repeats its story infinitely, weaving future from past again and again. As you listen, your mind drifts to the notion of infinite regress, the puzzle that if every event needs a cause, and each cause has its own cause, where does the chain truly begin? Like climbing a ladder with no bottom rung, this question stretches endlessly, teasing the limits of thought. Some embrace the idea of an uncaused cause, something beyond the chain, a starting spark for all that is. Others accepted infinite, time's river, flowing forever backward and forward, unframed by beginnings or ends. Modern science adds its gentle voice into the conversation. The story of time's birth is told by the Big Bang, a fiery moment about 13.8 billion years ago, when space and time themselves blossomed into existence. Before this moment, the idea of before itself may lose meaning. Time's river may have simply begun there, unfurling like a fresh melody. But this is not the final word. Some cosmologists imagine bouncing universes, where time contracts and expands, cycling endlessly in a cosmic heartbeat. Others picture eternal inflation, a garden of universes continuously blooming in an infinite unknown. Now, place yourself again beside that quiet river. Time's flow is continuous, but its shape remains unknown. Will the future stretch on like an eternal ocean, or fold back on itself like a ring? Scientific eyes watch distant stars, measuring the steady expansion of the cosmos. They whisper of futures where stars burn out, galaxies drift apart, and time glides on to a hush of cold stillness called heat death. Here, the river does not crash or end, but flows softly into an infinite silence where change fades and the universe rests. Yet, there is a different future to imagine. If the mysterious dark energy driving cosmic expansion grows fiercer, it could tear apart galaxies, stars, and even atoms, rending the cosmic fabric in a final, violent big rip. Time's river speeds up so fast that every island of matter becomes isolated, flowing alone into endless nothingness. But even within these enormous ideas, your own experience of time is intimate and dear. You feel time as a simple arrow, moving from your first breath to the last, from childhood laughter to quiet dusk. Yet history and nature suggest that this arrow is part of a larger, more intricate tapestry. Civilizations rise and fall like waves on a shore, while time itself remains an ocean too vast, too dry. Picture now the philosophers challenge what if every moment in your life repeats forever. Imagine joy and sorrow, every choice and chance, looping endlessly through time's river. Nietzsche's eternal recurrence dares you to embrace your life's entirety not once, but infinitely. Would you hold your story close, even knowing it has no final pause? In the vastness of infinity, almost impossible events become almost certain to occur given enough time. Somewhere, far away in stretches beyond your view, a version of you might be living a life almost the same, yet marked by a single whispered differenza, bedtime story, chosen this night over another. But time itself stays silent. It does not signal its edges or loops. Every clock ticks forward. Memories reach backward. The rest slips beyond what you can see or measure. Scientists build models, poets dream images, and philosophers weave ideas. But the full nature of time, the shape of its river, remains a horizon ever out of reach. What we can know for sure is that time shapes your experience. Without it, motion, growth, memory, or the dance of life would have no stage to unfold upon. Whether time is a road stretching endlessly or a circle folding upon itself, it carries you gently, step by step, as you prepare to surrender to sleep. Imagine time as this endless river, carrying you quietly through moments both known and unknown. The patterns of stars above shimmer like reflections on water, timeless, immense, soft. Let your thoughts float on this current, knowing that time's infinity is not to frighten, but to encompass a vast embrace, cradling your finite, precious life. For even in the smallest heartbeat, the endless flows around and through you. Tonight, as you drift into dreams, carry this gentle understanding. No matter where time's river begins or ends, it always moves forward, inviting you to come along, to wander forever. The night sky stretches wide above you, an endless canvas painted with light. where every star whispers a timeless tale, and space unfolds beyond your dreaming sight. Lie back now and feel the quiet around you deepen, as the darkness outside mirrors the vastness inside your mind. Imagine your breathing slowing, matching the gentle pulse of the universe itself. Above you, the night sky opens like a velvety blanket, scattered with glowing gemstars, sparkling across an endless space. This space, this vast expanse, might seem like a simple emptiness, but it is anything but. It is a cosmic ocean, a boundless sea of mystery and wonder. You might wonder, how large is this ocean? Does it stretch forever, unbroken, or is it shaped like a great globe, curving softly back upon itself with no edge to fall off? Your mind, used to borders and ends, struggles to hold the idea of a place with no edges at all. Imagine the surface of a smooth globe, like the earth beneath your feet. You can walk in a straight line and never reach a border, only to return to where you began. Now, replace the surface with the three-dimensional space we live in, and you glimpse a universe that could be finite, yet without boundary, looping endlessly in a shape both strange and beautiful. Scientists peer into this mystery by studying the light from the earliest moments of the cosmos. A faint whisper called the cosmic microwave background. This ancient glow carries impressions of space's subtle curvature. So far, the evidence leans gently toward flatness, a space that might stretch infinitely like an endless sheet of smooth fabric. Yet, the universe could still be so vast that any curvature escapes our most sensitive instruments. The true shape of space remains a tender question, an unfinished poem awaiting discovery. Picture yourself drifting on a gentle boat, floating across an ocean that fades beyond the horizon, darkness blending with starlight. You cannot see what lies beyond, but you can imagine new views waiting just out of sight. Our cosmic voyage is just like this dot. As you breathe in, think about the reach of your vision. Light takes time to travel, so you see only a part of the universe's whole. This observable universe forms a bubble around you, about 93 billion light-years wide, growing every moment. It is a stage set for unfolding stories, but the cosmic stage may extend far beyond. In spaces your eyes may never touch, the universe is expanding. Imagine a loaf of raisin bread baking in an oven, dough rising and stretching, carrying raisins apart. Each raisin drifts away from the others, and from anywhere in the loaf, it looks like all the rest are moving outward. This is the universe's gentle ballooning, its timeless unfold. Yet this expansion brings curious horizons. There are regions so far away that their light will never reach you, not because light fails, but because space itself stretches faster between you. These places slowly vanish from your view, slipping beyond cosmic edges. Beyond what you can see, an infinite ocean may unfold. In this ocean, every grain of sand, every star, planet, and particle may find echoes and reflections countless times. The idea of infinite space invites deep wonder. Somewhere, perhaps, another you quietly listens to these words, living a life almost like yours, except for the delicate differences shaped by unseen choices. The possibility of such duplicates is a dance between infinity and the finite patterns that matter conform, because there are only so many ways that atoms can assemble themselves to build worlds. Infinite repetition becomes not just a fanciful dream but a pentalogical companion of endless space. But infinity is not only about repetition. Some theories tell of a cosmic garden blooming with many universes, a multiverse. Our universe might be one bubble floating in a vast froth, each bubble with its own rules and shapes. Worlds too strange to imagine, colors of existence beyond our senses. This shapes how you might think about your place in all of this. Though space feels immeasurable and overwhelming, you are at the heart of a story that is at once unique and part of an infinite chorus. Your breath, your thoughts, your dreams are sparks of life shining inside this grand cosmic ocean. Space may feel silent and cold, but it hums with energy and possibility. Dark energy, a gentle but persistent force, pushes galaxies apart faster and faster, stretching the fabric of space and shaping the cosmic future. Its nature remains an open question, a whisper calling scientists to wonder and explore. Visualize now a black hole, one of the universe's most mysterious and mesmerizing creations. It is a place where gravity grows so intense that not even light can escape, a dark well where space and time themselves bend and fold. Look beyond the event horizon, the point of no return, and know that there lies a singularity, a place mathematics calls infinite density, though unsettling. Black holes are laboratories for infinity. Near a black hole, your sense of time shifts. Clocks seem to slow, moments stretch, and what once seemed permanent turns fluid. They sing a quiet song about the limits of our understanding and the promise of new discovery. Amid this vast and often invisible play, physics wrestles with infinity constantly. Sometimes infinity is a warning flag, shining where theory begins to falter. Sometimes it's a tool, a soft curve in an infinite sum, leading to exact answers. Whether in the scale of galaxies or the depths of quantum fields, infinity invites you to imagine beyond what eyes can see or hands can touch. As you prepare to close your eyes and drift towards sleep, let the infinite sky above be a soothing presence. There is no need to grasp it fully. The vastness extends beyond your mind, like waves beyond the shore. You exist as a glowing moment against this boundless backdrop, small, finite, and radiant. Perhaps tonight you will dream of cosmic oceans, of worlds beyond worlds, of lights that never dim. And as you rest, remember that infinity is not a cold void, but a gentle invitation, a canvas without end upon which the story of existence quietly unfolds. Your journey has no final boundary. The stars will blaze on, the space will stretch, and your mind can wander forever in the endless night, wrapped in curiosity and peace. Within the depths, so very small, a whisper calls beyond the walls, where particles dance, waves intertwine, and time itself begins to unwind. As you settle deeper into rest, feel your body soften like the gentle folding of a cosmic breeze. Let your mind drift now into the tiniest corners of existence, where space and time themselves begin to shimmer and ripple. Here, in the world of the very small, the reality you know bends into something delicate and strange. It's a place where certainty fades, replaced by whispers of possibility, shadowed by the mystery of infinity. Think of the atoms that build the world around you. They are the shimmering beads of this unseen tapestry. But even atoms are not the smallest threads. Look closer still, and you find protons and neutrons, and then quarks, and beyond that, a realm where particles are waves, spreading like ripples on a pond you can never quite touch. This is the quantum world, a delicate dance of energy and chance, of particles that behave sometimes like little marbles, sometimes like soft waves of possibility. Your mind might imagine solid things, but here, nothing is fixed. Instead, everything exists as a cloud of potential, a waltz of shapes that arrive only when you look closely. One of the oldest puzzles that hums softly in this tiny world is the question of infinity itself. Can matter be divided endlessly, like slicing an apple forever thinner and thinner? Or does nature draw a subtle line, a smallest possible grain beyond which no further splitting can occur? Your fingers may feel the smooth surface of a table, but at scales so small, space begins to snap like pixels in a blurry image. Physicists speak of the Planck scale, a measure so unimaginably tiny that it dwarfs the atoms themselves. If there is a pixelation here, at this threshold, then infinity in division fades away. Space and time become granular, a woven fabric of loops or strings vibrating softly in the silence. These ideas, like loop, quantum gravity, and string theory, are still whispers on the edge of understanding, but they offer the hope that infinity, vast and wild, can find gentle hedges. Imagine your breath slowing, your mind folding inward, toward these mysteries. You are now an observer of a cosmic sea where waves rise and fall endlessly. But every wave is made of countless smaller vibrations. Infinity is stitched into the very notion of measurement, between every tick of time, beyond the edge of every particle's shadow. There is a world waiting to be imagined. This dance between the infinite and the finite is not just the realm of abstract thought, it is the engine of the universe's grand story. Quantum physics reveals that energy doesn't flow continuously like water in a stream, but comes in discrete packets called quanta, each a sparkling step in an unending ladder. You too are made of this teeny sparks woven into the fabric of your own being. Even the emptiest spaces between stars are alive with restless energy. The vacuum itself, far from being empty, hums with fluctuations, virtual particles appearing and disappearing in a cosmic blink. Think of it as the quiet murmur beneath a symphony, subtle yet essential. These vacuum fluctuations, though invisible, have real effects, gently nudging objects closer in a delicate quantum push. Yet, try as we might to capture these infinite ripples, the mathematics, sometimes rebels, producing infinities that threaten to overwhelm the laws themselves. The story of renormalization is like taming a wild river. Infinities are corrals where numbers swirl endlessly. But with care, they can be coaxed into finite, meaningful predictions. It's a dance of balance, of pruning weeds, so that the garden of physics can bloom. The infinities whisper secrets, moments where our current understanding falters, where the map runs out and the unknown begins. Black holes, the seeds of the cosmos' deepest mysteries, hold singularities where density climbs beyond measure. The Big Bang itself, the spark of time and space, is wrapped in a veil of infinite energy. Physicists suspect these signal that new laws, yet undiscovered, await in the darkness just beyond our reach. In this quiet moment, as your heart beats softly and your breath deepens, consider that the universe is both finite and infinite, solid and fluid, known and unknowable. The smallest scales echo the deepest truths. Infinity is not just the vastness of distant galaxies, but the delicate, unending symphony woven into the tiniest particle. You may never see this world with your eyes, but your mind can touch it gently, through metaphor, through the poetry of science, the infinitesimals of calculus. Let us approach the incomprehensible, count by count, step by step, allowing us to walk along curves and trace shadows of time itself. Infinity here is the slow unfolding of understanding, a path with no end, but beautiful steps. As you drift closer to sleep, let the dance of quantum waves lull you. The unresolved riddles are the soft lullabies of discovery, reminding us that not all there is to be known has been found, and that the journey itself is a marvel. The day may close, but the cosmos unwinds slowly, weaving space and time into a living tapestry more vast and intricate than any story told. Infinity joins the finite in a gentle embrace, crafting a balance between the known and the mysterious, offering you, in this quiet moment, a place to wonder safely. So, as your eyelids grow heavier, hold this thought softly. You are part of a grand quantum dance, a ripple in an endless sea of possibility, a spark in the infinite night. Let yourself float on these waves of thought, carried gently toward dreams where questions bloom and curiosity sleeps with peace. Time drifts softly like a river's song, ever flowing, gentle yet strong. Order fades as chaos creeps near, yet within the stillness, life appears. As you sink deeper into calm, feel the slow, soothing rhythm of your breath like the quiet pulse of an ancient river winding through the landscape of now and forever. This river is time, flowing gently beneath all things, carrying moments softly forward. From the dawn of stars to the stillness of your dreams, time is a mystery wrapped in motion. You sense it as the steady beat that carries your body's rhythms, the sequence of day turning into night, moments unfolding into memories. But what gives time its direction? Why do minutes flow onward, never backward? The answer lies in a gentle but commanding force called entropy. Entropy is the quiet whisper behind change, the soft unfolding of disorder in the universe. Picture a room where everything is neatly arranged, your books stacked, your clothes folded. This scene has low entropy. Now imagine the hours passing, the breeze moving through, and things slowly becoming scattered, a comfortable mess forming. This growing randomness is entropy in action, in the grandest sense. Entropy measures how many different ways the tiny pieces of a system can be arranged without changing how it looks from afar. It is not just chaos, but a vast counting of possibilities, like shuffling a deck of cards again and again, each new configuration a way for the universe to explore. While your daily messes may frustrate, entropy is the universe's gentle guide, ensuring that the arrow of time always points forward, from order towards disorder. Your mind, drifting like a leaf on this river, may wonder, does entropy always rise? Yes, the second law of thermodynamics gently insists it does. And this simple rule shapes everything: why your glass shatters and never reassembles, why your warm cup of tea cools slowly as you breathe, why the sun ages and glows ever fainter over billions of years. Now imagine stretching this arrow of time into infinity, an endless river, flowing onward without the possibility of return. Over unimaginably long spans, stars will burn out, galaxies will dim, and the universe's energy will spread as evenly as mist over a quiet lake at dawn. This is the heat-death scenario, where entropy reaches its peak, and change itself seems to fall asleep. Yet, even in this vast quiet, infinity opens tiny doors to strange possibilities. Consider the idea of the Boltzmann brain, a flicker of random order emerging from the cosmic chaos. A brief burst of memories, a conscious moment born of pure chance. It is as if the universe, in its endless patience, might briefly create a dreamer among the shadows, only to let it dissolve once more. Such ideas gently sway the mind, inviting both wonder and humility. If the universe is infinite in time, could such fleeting wonders outnumber the beings born from the slow evolution of stars and life? And if so, what does that say about the memories you hold? The questions ripple outward like gentle echoes in a vast hall, but the river of time is not just a steady current, it carries with it the story of beginnings. The universe, young as a breath, began in a state of extraordinarily low entropy, remarkably ordered compared to what might be expected. This freshness at the start is what allowed stars to ignite, planets to form, and life to blossom, a calm moment before the steady drift. Your thoughts may trace this arc from the delicate start to the eventual quiet, but remember, entropy is not only an end, but also a spark of life itself. It gives time direction, allowing rivers to flow, leaves to fall, and hearts to beat. Without it, your world would be frozen in unchanging stillness. Without the gentle unfolding of experience, in your contemplative state, drift now to the graceful dance between the infinite and the finite. While entropy tends downward, infinity invites the improbable. Across endless time, almost anything can happen, the universe exploring its vast inventory of possibility, like a storyteller trying every twist and turn. Consider this. If the cosmos is indeed infinite in space and time, then every arrangement of matter, every story you can imagine, repeats again and again somewhere out there, like waves crashing endlessly on unseen shores. Somewhere or another you may gently listen to these words beneath a different sky, dreaming a life both like and unlike your own. Yet this infinity is not without its puzzles. When space and moments stretch without end, how do you make sense of chance? How do you say one event is more likely than another, when every possibility plays out endlessly? The universe, it seems, invites us into a new kind of thinking, one that balances certainty with wonder, logic with imagination. Your mind may feel the soft sway of these ideas, not as burdens, but as invitations. The invitation to step gently into mystery, to hold questions lightly, to know that certainty fades, but curiosity deepens. This balance, a dance of the finite with the infinite, is what lets you rest peacefully, caught between the known and the unknown. As you sink further toward sleep, let the river of time carry you into quiet reflection. You are part of a vast unfolding, a moment of order carved delicately against a backdrop of endless change. Your thoughts are like glimmers of light on the water's surface, small, beautiful, transient. The night stretches on, timeless and soft. The stars above whisper of beginnings and endings, both elusive and intertwined. And in the gentle flow of time, within the stirring of entropy, you find a tender truth that even as everything moves toward the quiet inevitable, each moment you hold is unique, precious, and profound. So, let yourself drift, cradled by the river's everlasting song. Know that time flows ever onward, carrying you gently, and in the silence where thoughts dissolve, you rest within the great unfolding, the endless becoming, the quiet forever. In the velvet hush of night, stars bloom, silent fires tracing ancient tunes. Their light flows softly, a whispered song, linking us gently where dreams belong. As your eyes grow heavy and your breath slows, picture the silent stars scattered across the vast sky like tiny lanterns, glowing softly in the deep velvet of night. Each one is a distant fire, a quiet speaker in the ongoing story of the cosmos. Your body relaxes, and you imagine yourself drifting among these shimmering lights. There, gentle pulses inviting your mind to wander through space and time. Stars are more than points of light. They are cosmic storytellers, each carrying a tale of creation, transformation, and renewal. Imagine a star is like a glowing ember in a great celestial hearth, born from clouds of gas and dust curled softly across space, like morning mist hovering over a quiet valley. These clouds, called nebulae, gather their parts slowly, pulling together under gravity's tender embrace, patiently building toward that first bright spark. Within the heart of this gathering glow, pressure and heat grow, like a breath held deep within your chest, until a star is born. This birth is not sudden, but a gradual illumination, a becoming that unfolds like a whispered secret. The star lights up when hydrogen atoms within it begin a delicate dance called fusion. Nuclei join together, releasing bursts of energy that shine for millions or even billions of years. Your mind may wonder, what keeps a star shining so steadily? It is a balance, a gentle tension between two invisible forces. On one side, gravity pulls inward, quietly squeezing the star's matter tighter and tighter. On the other, the light and heat from fusion push outward, like a soft exhale, holding the star up from collapse. This harmony is a delicate dance, a cosmic breathing that lasts through eons, as your thoughts float like drifting leaves. Consider that stars are not forever. Their lives trace arcs of transformation, from bright youth to quiet old age. Small stars, like our sun, glow steadily before swelling into giant red figures and shedding their outer layers in graceful clouds that drift back into space, forming new nebulae like cosmic blossoms, scattering seeds for future stars. Larger stars live fast and fierce, their brilliant flames burning hot and bright but briefly. When they can no longer balance gravity's inward pull, they collapse suddenly in spectacular explosions known as supernova. These blasts scatter the elements that will one day build planets, oceans, and life itself. You can imagine this as a great cosmic breath, an ending that is also a beginning, a soft silence filled with potential. The light from stars that you see tonight may have traveled across vast distances and deep times, sometimes for millions of years, carrying stories from the past right to your awake mind. Every star's glow is a message sent across the cosmic sea, whispered softly into your understanding. It is as if the universe is reaching out, inviting you to listen, to feel connected. In this connection, there is something both humbling and comforting. You are part of a vast dance of energy and matter, your own atoms once forged in the heart of a star long vanished. Your breath, your heartbeat, a reflection of the cosmic rhythms that animate the universe. This deep link between you and the stars kindles a quiet awe, a soothing reminder that you belong to something immeasurably vast and beautifully ordered. Let yourself rest in this feeling. The slow unfolding of starry light, the gentle cycles of birth and rebirth, the silent balance of forces invisible yet real. Imagine your mind as a calm pond, reflecting the endless sky, receiving the soft shimmer of cosmic truths. Your thoughts grow calm, each one a flicker like starlight on still water. Stars are also teachers, showing how complexity arises from simplicity, how order can emerge from clouds of dust, and how endless change can be woven from patterns of light and gravity. They remind us that endings soften into beginnings, that the story of the universe is less a line than a circle, a spiral, or a danceiver unfolding, ever new. As you drift towards sleep, imagine one last gentle story. In the darkest stretches of space, hidden among the stars, some burn the brightest, their cores collapsing into mysterious points called neutron stars or black holes. These objects challenge the edges of understanding, where light bends and time slows, a quiet frontier where the infinite and the finite touch. Though we may never journey to these distant realms, their existence sparkles like a cosmic lullaby, inviting wonder without fear. The stars teach us that the universe embraces both the known and the unknowable, the gentle calm and the wild mystery, with equal grace. The night deepens, your body softens, the stars continue their silent shimmer, endlessly patient, endlessly gentle. Know that as you rest, you are wrapped in the quiet glow of countless cosmic fires, their light a soft bridge between questions and peace. The story of the stars is far from over. It flows through every breath you take and every dream you enter. They remind you that no matter how vast the universe, your small light shines uniquely, precious like a single flame on a long, endless night. In the quiet dark where stars fall to sleep, a hidden place where mysteries keep. No light escapes, yet thoughts can roam. In black holes, you find your own. As your breath slows and your body sinks into softness, imagine a place in the vast universe where even light itself cannot escape. This place is called a black hole, a silent guardian of mysteries and wonders, where the ordinary meets the infinite. Let your mind drift gently toward that shadowed realm, a cosmic cocoon wrapped in the deepest darkness. Black holes begin simply, like stars reaching the last chapters of their lives, When a star has burned through its fuel, the quiet balance that held it steady tips. Gravity, that gentle pull that keeps your feet on the ground and holds the moon in the sky, suddenly grows relentless. Imagine gravity as an invisible hand, tightening its grip until the star's core collapses inward, shrinking smaller and smaller, more dense, more intense, until it becomes a black hole. The boundary of a black hole is called the event horizon. Think of it as an invisible veil, a point of no return. Once anything, even light, crosses this veil, it can never return to the world it left behind. From far away, this horizon is like a dark sphere, floating silently, swallowing light and sound without a trace. Inside this shadowed boundary lies the singularity, a place where known laws of physics dissolve. It is a point where density becomes infinite, and space-time itself is stretched into unimaginable curves. Imagine trying to measure this point, but every measuring stick breaks or stretches beyond control. The singularity is infinity writ. Small it challenges everything we think we know about the universe. Yet, physicists believe that the singularity is also a signpost. It tells us where our current theories, as beautiful and powerful as they are, reach their limits. General relativity, the theory that describes gravity's strength and sway, cannot fully explain what happens here. Quantum mechanics, the theory for the tiniest particles and forces, also struggles to paint a clear picture. The meeting of these two realms inside black holes is a grand puzzle, like a river merging into an endless ocean of unknown. But imagine black holes as teachers, holding secrets about the universe's deepest workings. Near a black hole, gravity is so intense that it bends light like a glass lens, stretching and curving the paths of stars' rays into arcs and loops. Time itself moves differently too. If you were to watch a clock fall toward a black hole, it would seem to slow, tick by tick, growing quieter from a distance, as though trapped in an endless pause. And yet, in the frame of the clock itself, time flows on briskly, slipping away as the clock falls toward the center. This strange duality of frozen moment from afar, a swift passage from within, reminds us that black holes are places where reality folds in on itself, where infinity and finiteness entwine. Not all black holes are the same. Some are modest in size, born from the collapse of single stars, only a few kilometers across. Others are giants, millions or billions of times more massive than our sun, sitting at the hearts of galaxies, quietly sculpting the dance of stars and gas clouds around them. These colossal black holes are the anchors of cosmic cities, shaping the vast neighborhoods of galaxies themselves. We cannot see the singularities at their centers, hidden beyond the event horizon, but black holes reveal their presence in striking ways. As gas and dust spiral inward, they heat to dazzling temperatures, glowing brightly in X-rays that telescopes can detect across space. Sometimes, black holes collide, sending ripples through the fabric of space-time, gravitational waves that gently reach Earth as whispers from the cosmos, carrying stories from unimaginable distances. Some physicists propose that these, rather than points of infinite density, might be fuzzy regions, softened by quantum effects. The fabric of space-time may be woven from tiny loops or vibrating strings, preventing the catastrophic infinities that classical physics predicts. The hope is that new theories will one day replace those infinities with deep understanding. Consider also the idea that black holes might not be eternal prisons. Some suggest they slowly evaporate over incomprehensibly long times, emitting faint radiation, Hawking radiation, and eventually vanish, leaving behind questions and wonder. Infinity here might be a temporary visitor, a shadow passing in the story of the universe. As you settle deeper into rest, ponder the poetic beauty of black holes. They are cosmic riddles wrapped in darkness, standing at the boundary between what is known and what remains mysterious. They teach us humility, showing how even the universe with all its vastness holds places where reality is stranger than we can fully grasp. In their depths, black holes whisper of infinity, not just as abstract mathematics, but as a living part of the cosmos. They invite awe and respect, reminding us that the universe is not always gentle or simple. Yet, within their starkness lies endless curiosity, an invitation to keep exploring both outwards and inwards. Feel the calm that comes from knowing such mysteries exists beyond the gaze of even the mightiest telescopes. The unknown is a kind of space holding, a quiet place where imagination can wander freely, where the mind can dream without limits. The cosmos, With its black holes and stars, its silent expanses and shimmering lights, is like a vast, ancient lullaby. It sings of beginnings and ends, of endless cycles and infinite journeys, embracing the unknown with gentle grace. Let this thought accompany you as your eyelids grow heavy and the quiet night deepens. You are part of a universe that is deep, strange, and beautiful, where the exploration of infinity continues, not just in distant galaxies but inside your very wonder.